was a good spring. It was a good spring game, mainly because we stayed, healthy. AJ will be fine. Nothing serious there. It was more of a neck than a head injury, so that's good. It was a neck strain. He'll be fine. But what I liked most about the entire spring was we were very physical. We fundamentally needed to get better. You've heard me talk about it a lot. In certain positions, I felt like we made giant strides. Today, again, we were very basic on both sides of the ball, but it was relatively clean football. Physical, but kept guys healthy. We got a lot of work in this spring. I was very proud of our players, their effort for a long time. We talked, last summer about their capacity to handle more. Well, they took a lot of coaching for a long time. We've been in spring ball for 6 weeks with 1 week off for spring break. So to keep their attention for that long, to be very disciplined, to come in and early in the morning, have lifts, meetings on our off days, and then practice Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday for 5 weeks. We got a lot of work in. So I appreciate that effort by our players. We made some strides. We still have a ways to go in certain areas. But I like this team. There's certainly fewer question marks coming out of spring than in years past. So I feel like there's a lot to build on. Our players need a little rest right now. We're going to be in next week, Monday and Tuesday, finishing up with some meetings with those guys and some evaluations of their spring and before the coaches hit the road and go on the road recruiting. So after that, the players will get a little bit of time off. They need it, and then back to the grind, back to lifting and running. So they won't get too much time off, but they put a lot of work in. Appreciate their effort and our coaches' effort this spring.
When you say giant strides for position groups, which specific ones did you see them from this year?
I just feel like where there's fewer questions across the board. I think we made strides up front. I think we all know that, I've talked about it, that we need to get better and fundamentally play better up front on defensive line, and we've improved a great deal there.
Mark, is tonight kind of indicative of what Gunnar Hoke has done all spring and kind of the way he's played?
It is. He's been very poised. You see he's effortless at times, and I just like the way he handles himself back there. He throws a very catchable football. He's very accurate, and the more experience he gets, the better he looks.
Are you more happy that he did what he did against a starting defense, or more frustrated with that side of the ball?
No, I wasn't at all frustrated with that part of it. I felt, we need to see some offense because, we were very vanilla and we didn't have it, the full group of ones over there, and hardly did anything on our third down package. But so I thought it was a good game, and I wanted to see, fans want to see the ball. You want to see a few points out there. So I felt good across the board.
So for people who will be overly excited about spring game stats, you tell us you teed it up for him a little bit?
I'm not saying I teed it up there a little bit, but it was about fundamentally putting them in bad situations to see who's going to win.
Mark, you said there are fewer questions coming out of spring. What questions do you still have jump immediately to your mind?
Well, you're constantly striving to get better across the board. We're going to put the foot on the gas. After these guys get a little bit of rest, then we got to have a great summer now. It's a new phase. They've got to finish strong academically, and then it's full steam ahead across the board. So we have a lot of room for improvement.
Mark, Jamin Davis and Boogie Watson have really active stat lines. What was your impression of them, and was their play tonight reflective of their spring?
It was. We feel very good with Boogie. I feel like Jamar really made, again, some strides. He's a guy that with reps, you could see he has the ability, and he has a good understanding. Again, you heard me talk many times about the nuances of that position, and I like where he's at. I think he's going to be a good player. And the same thing with Jamin. You saw that on film when we recruited him. We saw him here. He's a guy that takes the game very serious. He works at it. He's gaining weight. He's getting stronger, but he's got the instincts to play linebacker.
Along with Jamin, Cleveland and Thomas had a pretty good game. What does it say to you that these early enrollees aren't afraid to go out there and make plays right away?
That's what we're hunting. That's what we're looking for in the recruiting trail, guys that can come in and compete and are serious about their approach to the game, and those guys are.
Was the plan tonight to kind of ride Saheem on that first team offense?
Pardon me?
Was the plan tonight to kind of ride Saheem King on that first box and because you know what you have in Benny Snell a little bit?
Yeah, and we wanted AJ some reps as well in the second half with the ones. But we didn't get that opportunity, so Saheem had more carries.
What happened with Jordan, and is that going to extend it further into the season? or
No,
was it just
we'll
the-
handle it. We missed a meeting, so we're not gonna tolerate that.
The special teams wasn't live tonight, but what's your overall general feeling about your special teams heading into the summer?
Yeah, we're building on it. We need to punt the ball better. Grant needs to punt it better, needs to continue to work. Austin missed a field goal tonight, uncharacteristic of him. But our cover units and the guys have worked extremely hard, and I like what Coach Hood's doing. So, we'll continue to work on it.
Did you get about everything you wanted from spring practice, looking back about 6 to 8 weeks ago?
I feel like we got an awful lot out. I don't know if we're ever completely satisfied, but I feel good that we had long physical practices because we stretched it out for so long. The downside of that is it's a long time to keep their attention, to be practicing spring ball for 6 weeks. And with only going 3 days a week. We have the option to go 4 days a week or 5, and we'll get over shorter, but then they're not getting as much in the off days. We have a lot of time to slow it down and have long meetings and get them in there and lift, and that way you can have good physical practice when you're not going back to back. So I feel like, again, I'm proud of our players, and it was good physical practices. Fundamentally, we had more live plays this spring than we ever had, and we need that, and we stayed healthy. That's a testament to Coach Edmond and Coach Mark Hill and what we're doing in the weight room. These guys are physical. They were able to handle a lot, and we need to do that. We need to play the game, and we need to play it physically to get better. Defense needs live reps, because when you put it all together with the run game and the play action and the boots and so on, they just need to see it full speed. And I was pleased that we got a lot of live reps this spring.
Mark, coming out of spring, do you feel like you've improved your depth a lot or a little?
A little. I think in the spring it gets tough because you always want more depth. You don't have everybody here. You don't have your freshmen here that are going to contribute or at least be backups. So you're always a little bit thin. But yes, in general, I think we're definitely better. We're deeper than we have been.
Mark, what do you want to see out of
Point to Mark, in terms of when your defense clicked over the last 3 or 4 practice sessions, what would you point to as the reason why it clicked at that particular time?
Point of attack. I mean, it's about pad level. It's about being disruptive up front and playing solid up front. You got to have some guys physically play their game the way it's supposed to be played up front. It starts there.
What do you want to see from Justin Rigg between now and when you get back to work in August?
Just continue to improve like he's going to do. You can see him, and you see the ability that he has. He's a natural tight end. He's got to get stronger, and he'll do that. He'll work at it, but he's a good football player.
Is the touch sack setup sort of work against a guy like Steven to take away a piece of kind of what he is?
Yeah,
as a
I think so.
quarterback?
I think so. That's the negative. I mean, we certainly aren't going to turn the quarterbacks loose and go live with those guys, but there's a comfort level that he knows he can sit back there, but yeah, he has the ability to ad lib and make plays and extend plays, and he really didn't have that time today.
We mentioned Jamin and Boogie on defense as some of the young guys that stood out. Who kind of stood out to you at first glance?
Yeah, it looked like Looney, had a few plays today, looked better. Tobias had a nice spring. Jordan Griffin, a few guys.
You were happy with the offensive line going into the spring. Did you see any development or growth out of that group after the spring?
They played, but it looked like we got some pressure tonight. Uncharacteristic of the rest of the spring practices. But that's the good side of it is the defensive line was getting some pressure. The bad side is the offensive line was giving up some pressure today.
With your running backs.
Excuse me, because I sit back there, and that's one of the reasons I stand back there, and I could feel that pressure today, and that's a good thing for the defense. But offensively, we've got to clean it up a little bit.
As a group, did you kind of get what you wanted from them in terms of coming off the ball, coming off the snap?
The O-line?
The running backs.
The running backs?
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been solid all spring. We really feel like You know, we've got some guys that can play. You know, you need to be deep at that position. You know, so with losing the guys that we lost, we need these guys to be players, and fortunately for us, they are.
Mark, I would assume you were happy with the decision about the early signing day today?
I don't, you know, we'll play by the rules, you know, that they give us. You know, I was in favor of it, but I was probably the minority in our league about that. But the way it was packaged, I think there was some give and take, and I don't know if anybody's completely happy with all the rule changes, but it is what it is.
Mark, are you satisfied with the nose guard position out of spring?
We're getting better. I think we're getting better. We need to have a long, hard summer. We need some guys to really get in really good shape and work hard and be ready to come back out next fall and play better. I feel like, you know, so I don't know if I answered that, but we grew, we got better. We are better, but we need to continue to push.
Everybody good?
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you very much.